What's up, mamas? I'm Rebecca. You're watching the Reseller Mom Show. Thanks for joining me today for another great episode of Reseller Momversations. Today I have Erin with me, and she is, let me get this right, Thrifty Seabird.
Yep, you got it. The
Thrifty
Thrifty
Seabird at on Instagram, which I love that name. I think that's such a great name. And I'm so excited to have her today. So I'll go ahead and let her introduce herself, tell you a little bit about her, and then we'll chat. Hi, Erin.
Hello. I started reselling, like 3 years ago, and just took it full time 2 months ago after I got let go from my job that was crazy. So here I am. I am also a stay-at-home mom, and I travel a crap ton. I'm married, have 2 dogs, the whole suburban mom life. So yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I sell on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and what's the other one? Tradesy. That's the other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And not too many. I've only had 1 or 2 on that do, and I've never had any luck with it. I might just actually start there because I'm always so curious to share different things, and then I'll ask you about your kids and stuff. But tell me about Tradesy. How long have you been on it? Do you sell a lot on there? Is
Not long. It's okay, so it really just depends on how lucky I get sourcing. Because if you throw just mid-level brands on there, it takes forever and a freaking day to sell.
Yeah.
So if I find something that's new with tags, I scored at a freaking consignment sale that they were going out of business and everything was 80% off. And I don't know how they did this, but they got all this stuff from Nordstrom Rack from their sale probably and tried to flip it, and it didn't go well. But it was a crap ton of events, which doesn't really do well for me, but it was new with tags.
Right. That should.
Right. Komarov, I can never something. It's a new to me brand, but they had a few of their dresses. Just really Tory Burch. I still have some brand new in box shoes. So I throw all of those type of items on Tradesy. And
why specifically the new with tags one?
Yeah, and the high end, the trendy, preppy type of stuff.
Okay.
That stuff sells kind of, but I've only made probably 20 sales or so. And
but that's great. I don't think.
Yeah, but it takes forever. But it's one of those, you put it on there, it stays, and you don't need to relist it or refresh it.
Right.
So it's a list and forget type of stitch.
Which is great. And those are always helpful because all the others are just, there's so much to do.
I know.
To do so many things to be involved with. That's why I'm on an eBay hiatus right now. We've broken up. I'm sure we'll get back together, but we are broken up. So tell me, I guess, a little bit about I looked briefly at your Poshmark closet and everything was you had nice photos and you had great brands. So, I mean, do you try to be a more higher end store? How many listings do you have? Give us a little update of the business.
My business has totally flown into different directions every single year, because I've been doing it for 3 years. When I first started, I was just trying to make any type of money so I could get out of my property management job at that time.
Okay.
And it was just whatever I could get my hands on. So I was grabbing store brands like Banana Public or Gap, because I didn't know.
Right.
I live in a very busy city, and it's there's a lot of hoity-toities here, which is great. So that probably is offending. I'm sorry, but it's true here. There's a lot of money in my city. So I didn't know these designer brands because I don't buy that stuff myself.
Right.
So I started throwing myself into watching other people's YouTube videos like this one and learning brands. So now when I go thrifting, I try to only pick up brands that I know I'll make at least $30 or more on. And I pay up for my stuff now. I used to buy things if it was $1. Oh, it's only $1. That's great. I'll at least make $10 or $15 on that.
Right.
But somebody told me time is money. And since being a stay-at-home mom and just a mom in general, oh my God, there's not enough time in the day. So that is why now I'm sourcing at consignment stores, or I just discovered estate sales and how much fun they are, but how creepy it is walking into somebody's house is weird. It's just weird. But yeah, so now I source better, but I spend more.
Right. Spend more, better stuff, less stuff.
Right. Yeah. So right now I'm trying to get to 300 listings, but my sell-through rate is getting better and better because now I'm listing 10 items a day, whether that's a mix of like all new 10 items or it's relisting 6 things and then 4 new things.
Got it.
But I figured out 10 is the key. So
I do about 10. I mean, every once in a while I'll drop down to 5 when I'm trying to like stretch out photos and I know I'm going to be busy and can't provide the amount of photos because I have a VA that helps me. So it's all about consistency for her to help me. And so it's good because it keeps you accountable because you have someone that you have to keep feeding, you know, just like you keep feeding the websites, but the websites don't tell you if you know what I mean? Like she's like, my like I'm out of photos. I need photos.
Right. So, it's all such a guessing game.
Yeah. So I think 10 a day is a good number. I wish that I could get to more, and I wonder what my business would be like if I had more. Like one would only assume that it would double if you did 20 or whatever. But who knows?
Right. Exactly. That's how my mind works too.
So let's talk about your kid's situation first, because I think that provides a lot of context for people that are watching to know, like, you know, you're a stay-at-home mom, you have the reselling business full time, but how full-time momming are you as far as like school-age kids or toddlers at home with you? Or
right. Yes. Okay. So we are a one and done. So we just have one little one. She's 4 and a half. I love her. And she is pretty self-sufficient, which is odd to say for a 4.5-year-old, but she is.
Yeah.
She actually does go to an in-home daycare 1 day a week. And she goes from 9 to 5. So that's a full working day for me.
That's a long day.
And she also is in preschool. I just bumped her up to full days. We did 2 half days and now she does 2 full days.
Okay.
So yeah, so I have 3 solid days of me time to get my business done. And you know, when you're kid free, you can get a crap ton of stuff done.
Absolutely.
Yes. So that is working for me. But when I first started, she was with me all the time.
Yeah.
And my kids slept for shit. Oh, sorry. But she did not sleep at all. I had to hire a sleep coach. So I was used to working in it was a gentle sleep coach. It was insane. I tried all the, you know, I'm not a reader, but I read every freaking book. Anyways, long story short, we had some challenges in the beginning. So I would be working with at that time I was only selling on eBay. I would be working for like 20-minute bursts and then have to go help her and lay with her and get her to sleep or, you know, all that stuff. We didn't do screen time in the beginning too.
Right.
Until recently, and now we do. So back then it was like, I got to find something for this child to play with. So we did a lot of Play-Doh.
Right.
We did a lot of singing, and she would try to help as much as she could as a, you know, what was she?
Gio loved putting, like, since he was like 1.5 or so, he loved putting like the stickers. Like I have one in here, like these stickers. When I would do the boxes, he would help. But sometimes he'd put a few extra that he wasn't supposed to, but he would put those on the boxes, and that was like his job. And then when he figured out about measuring, he had to have like his own measuring tape, so that, and then
that's cute.
He could pull everything out of his drawers and say that he was like measuring them for mommy's boutique and stuff. So like if you can find ways, and you know, not just for you, because obviously now she's a little older, but even still now, for the moms watching, like anything you can do to make what you're doing fun. It'll take you longer to get it done, but at least you get it done, and they still are excited and feel like part of it. Like he doesn't think that mommy's boutique is like bad or takes away from him or whatever. He almost gets a little excited. Like when I say I'm going to go find items for the boutique, he's like, oh, what did you get? Did you get, you know, like he's excited.
Oh girl, that's treasure hunting. Heck yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Get something.
Yeah. So when she was not in her schools and was home with you, did you take her sourcing? Like what did it look like? How did it?
Yeah. So we always brought snacks, like all of the snacks, and usually a special something, like a little sucker, whatever. I used to be one of those, I'm never giving my child this. Nope, that ship sailed. So we brought all that fun stuff. We always brought like a small backpack, and she would sit in the cart and do her little thing while I like flip through real quick. So yeah, usually, you know, there are some times where she would last like 2 hours, and then because the child didn't sleep at the house, she would sleep in a thrift store. So at that point, I was like going to the thrift store an hour before her nap time. So she would sleep in the cart. So, you know, you got to be a little crafty. But yeah,
no,
back
but
then it was we'll take what we can get. And I wasn't like, I was super part-time. Like, I'm talking maybe I was only netting $300 or $400.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's all I was doing. So,
but that's all you can do. And if you didn't need it and you were, you know, trying to figure out if it's viable and just learning, like, that's still great.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, I was really excited about that. I just knew that I could do more. But, you know, your kid always, for me, came first. So it was one of those crazy.
Right. Now, do you have a bins that you go to, or you're strictly going to more of a Goodwill retail or a retail consignment store, like places like that where, like you say, you're paying up? Like, do you ever do bins, or is that even an option?
I do. So honestly, I like to switch up to not get bored with where I go. So sometimes I'll do the bins. Sometimes I'll do just the standard Goodwill. There's other thrift stores around us. And honestly, those like Clothes Mentor or the Uptown Cheapskate, like those type of stores.
Okay.
You can find like there's stuff out there. So it's just a matter of keep it interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have like a plan for how you go to these different, because I always feel like I want to make like a sourcing calendar or sourcing plan so that you are not forgetting about places and do keep like and keeping it varied. Do you do that, or you're not that?
Girl, I wish I did. I keep telling my husband, I gotta make a schedule. I'm gonna do this. I even bought one of those fancy wall calendars, and no, I don't yet. I will. I say that it's on my 2020 resolution, but you know, February 3rd over here, and I have not done that. So I need to. I see other people doing it and they say it's good, but
yeah, I mean, well, and I just ask because I've yet to do it just because I'm like, I'm already doing like as maxed out as I possibly can. Yeah,
right.
I plan out a lot of things between YouTube and whatever. So I do a lot of planning already, and I am a planner. It comes naturally to me. I enjoy doing it. So
right.
I'm looking forward to when I can sit down and do it. But yeah, it doesn't seem like the best use of my time when time is so limited.
Right. I keep thinking of that one. I'm going to jack it up because I can never remember exactly, but they say put the time in to like prepare for everything, and then afterwards it goes so much quicker. And it's so true. It's just a matter of, okay, let's step away from photographing and listing and let's like prep everything.
Right.
Why haven't we done that yet?
I don't know. You know, for me, it's like I noticed this trend in talking to a lot of people. We do like to switch things up because it can be very monotonous of like doing like it's the same old thing, and you do get excited about different brands or whatever, but it's and it's still all the same. And so for me, like having YouTube or having like the little Etsy store, you know, where I have like some of the products that I use in my business that I share with people, or like now I'm doing reseller boxes. Like I figured out ways to kind of build in the variety, which I think is helpful because I get a little bored of it.
Yeah, burnout is it's a very real thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
Have you ever had anyone help you with your business?
No. Yes and no. So for like the past 3.5 years, no. And then just last month, I hired a VA to help me share on Poshmark because I don't want to be on my phone in front of my child all day. There's a lot of work when it comes to Poshmark. So yeah, I did. And it's the best places to start. The best freaking thing I've ever done for my thing. I wish I would have done it before. So
good. Now, how many times are they doing it?
So I got one of those like package doohickers where they share my closet 1,000 clicks. They follow 1,000 people, and there's another 1,000 thing. What is it? I should know. I really should know, but I can't remember.
Shares probably.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, I usually make like at least 1 to 3 sales a day on Poshmark, which is pretty good for me. So I'm okay with that. but I swear it's from them because I was not sharing consistently at all because I don't have time for that.
And that's, I mean, once your closet gets bigger, it's really hard to sit and devote that time.
Oh, sweet Lord, yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Once I hit like 200, it was a chore, which honestly, it only takes you like 5 or 7 minutes if you're like holding your phone and using all of your fingers to share.
But even when you have a little one, especially now at 4, like Gio's 4, your daughter's 4.5, like they're still working on their patience. So when they do want something or when they do come in, you do feel guilty for being on your phone. It is hard to concentrate when they're maybe on one of their tangents or something. So like for me, for Gio, it's usually something Star Wars related. And he's like talking about how he's going to destroy me. And like,
yeah.
Yeah. Straight on anything.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, even a few minutes is difficult. That's why I'm a big fan of the share bursts, right? Because I do have the VA and she, like the set times for sharing the whole closet happen, but at least I feel like I can go in and share 5 or 10 here and 5 or 10 there, and you can pick it up and put it down.
Right.
Because I'm not super crazy about keeping my closet in a particular way.
Right. I've had to let go of that.
But that's not, you just can't. So if you're a person that doesn't care about that, a share burst is great because at least it's something that just gets something out there from time to time.
Right. Absolutely. Well, and there's other VAs that you could hire that you could tell them exactly what you want to do. I just haven't gotten to that point yet.
Right. Well, and I think what you're doing is a great way to start because it is kind of preset. It's maybe a little less scary. It's more of a service than a person. So I totally agree with that. When the first thing that I did was hire someone locally, but she was remote. I never actually met her in person. Yeah. She was in the general area somewhere. And I hired her like remotely to share for me. And that was nice because I could talk to her on the phone and I was trying to figure out how to explain everything and all of that. And then once I did that, then I was able to move to like a truly virtual person where it's, straight on the computer.
That's your person.
And that was nice. And then I've been through a few. I've had as many as 6 at one time.
Oh my gosh, that's impressive.
Not all just for reselling. I had other, streams of income that I had them help me with, but at one point it was 6 on the payroll. It's very hard to manage. And now I just have the one and that's way better.
Yes, absolutely. Keep it simple.
And it's nice because she does a lot more for me now than sharing. So she really is like, I don't know that I would say that she's full-time, but she's a pretty hefty part-time assistant in general in the business, which is great for all of like my back-end stuff, like keeping the inventory spreadsheet, deleting things when they sell on the other platform. Like she does all of that.
Right.
So, I try to treat her well so she will stick around.
Yeah, when you got a good one, you don't let them go. Yep.
No, and I'm like, I hope that someday I would meet her. Like, I think that would be really cool. I mean, she's in the Philippines, and I have a computer that I bought for her that's in my guest room so she can remote in and do everything that she needs to do for me, and it's pretty awesome. So I slowly add things to her plate.
Right. Well, she can handle it and she's willing. That's amazing.
Well, and that's the thing. I think, I try not to ask too many questions because I don't always know if I want to know the answers to what all is on the other side of, like who she is and what she's doing. And like some of the other ones, like, I knew that they had kids and that's why they were home and, or one was in college. And so she did it for extra money to pay her tuition. So it is kind of cool to get to know them a little bit. But I try to keep it positive and professional without getting too involved.
No, I totally agree with that. Yeah, because that's a slippery slope.
It is.
Yep.
It sounds.
Yes, it is.
I am a people person. I don't know about you. You seem like you're very outgoing and bubbly.
Yeah.
And, this is the first time we've connected, so not like I know you too much, but it's nice to be that person when you can be. But it's also really nice that like I do everything online. I don't have to meet anybody in person. Like and kind of just be very under the radar.
I know what you mean. Yep, I feel the same way. Yeah. That's why I like this one service I'm using so much. Like they do this stuff and I'm happy with it. They're clearly making money off of it, which is great. So it's a win-win. Yeah.
Right. No, that's great. And I mean, that has all grown so much. It's very
Oh my
interesting
gosh.
to see on Instagram how, one thing is an industry reselling, and then all of these offshoots have now kind of come out where other people, and I look at it in terms of jobs, like other people now have jobs because we decided to make our jobs and resell.
Right.
And like, that's cool. And I'm a big, this is the Reseller Mom Show. Everything I do is for the mom community. Obviously, I'm happy when others are here. So if you're not a mom yet, or you're, a guy, welcome. I'm happy you're here. But I speak to that community because that's where I am, and I felt like that was lacking. And so, it's all the mom thing all the time. And I'm passionate about moms that decide to stay home, or whether you don't, that's okay too. If you are working and doing reselling and you're a mom, that's even like
y'all are super
a bigger deal. Where I'm at home and reselling. But when you decide to stay home, it's so like it for me, because I was a work person and I identified very much with my work and being a good worker. It's so hard to not feel like you're contributing. And so whether you are a reseller or you're a virtual assistant helping a reseller, a virtual assistant doing something else, like there's all these opportunities for moms. It's perfect for moms to do all of this. So
right.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
So tell me about eBay a little bit, because I'm on my break, so I should hear from the other side. How is that for you? Is it your bigger platform? Is it your baby platform?
It started out big. So that's actually, I only did eBay for the first year, and I did relatively good, but keep in mind, I was sourcing different things. So I don't know. So I started out with that for a solid year. Then I threw in Poshmark for the next year. That was my 2018 goal.
Gotcha.
And then I couldn't figure it out at all. I was barely making sales. So then I threw in Mercari, and I threw in some YouTube videos and watching other people and how they cross-posted and how they made their Poshmark thing go. And I don't know, something just clicked. And now eBay is kind of on the back end. Poshmark is where I make the most money, but eBay, I still cross-post every single thing between Mercari, Posh, and eBay.
Yeah.
Then Tracy is for the fancy things.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, but eBay's fine. I mean, people complain about it left and right, but there's always something to complain about. Think of all the people though that are still looking at the stuff there. I just sold something this morning on eBay that's been listed for a couple months and it just sold. It hasn't gotten any views at Poshmark or Mercari, so hello, I'm still going to list on eBay.
It's amazing because sometimes when you buy things, you're like, oh, this is totally going to sell on Poshmark, and then it ends up selling on eBay, or you think it's going to go quickly on eBay because it's that kind of thing, and then it ends up selling on, like, I've stopped judging my own like sourcing. Like I don't even look if it's cute anymore. Sometimes I don't even, I just try to be as objective as possible, because as long as it is a desirable thing, or as long as it's a legitimate, somehow valuable thing, it will sell. And that's kind of something I said to myself this morning when I go to my storage unit and I pull everything that I have to ship out that day. Sometimes I have like different thoughts of like, why did I buy all this junk that's still in here? Every day I go through this bin picking out something else.
Girl, I think that too.
There. I'm like, I should just get rid of it. And then, so there was something on eBay that I got an offer on, and I'm not actively listing on eBay. I haven't listed since December 1st. I made a few sales here and there. They trickle in, which is nice, but I'm not doing anything. I don't even look at it. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
And then I got an offer on this Anne Klein red blazer, like a red leather blazer of Anne Klein that I should have probably never bought.
Right.
I don't remember if I bought it at the bins, if I paid for it at Goodwill Retail. And I got an offer on it. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure I took that out and sold it at my clearance sale. I don't know why it's still on eBay. Obviously, myself and my VA had a little snafu. So I had to go look. It's not there. But I remember that being one of the items where I'm like, stupid red blazer. I should have never bought this blazer. Like, while it's sitting there, all this, then it goes and gets an offer when I've already gotten rid of it. I'm like,
oh, that happens to me a lot too. Yeah.
So you never know. But what are some of your eBay, especially because you started there, so maybe you're more adept, you know, and now it took you some time to learn Poshmark, where eBay was like your first thing. So you've maybe feel more comfortable there. Like, do you do free shipping, free returns? Do you run sales? Like, what are some of your tactics?
So I usually do one sale a month for about a week and a half, and I only do 10% off of everything in my store, and that's it. I don't do free shipping.
Okay.
I do 2-day handling time because I have a life, and yeah, like I just can't, and I travel a crap ton too, so I can't. I wish I could, but no. So I do all that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't do anything fancy.
Got
I
it.
know they do like the eBay Open, I think is what it is, and they tell you should do the free shipping, you should do this and that, and I just take it with stride. I haven't really changed anything up.
I think that's one of the things that causes a lot of uppityness in the community, you know, in YouTube videos and Instagram. Honestly, if it was more straightforward, we'd have way less content to talk about, because but I wish that they would make it a little more straightforward, because I am an analytical person, and I will drive myself crazy trying to figure out, should I do free shipping?
Girl, me too. I have to stop.
1% it drives people crazy, and I wish they would just say, these are the things that are recommended, and then we just all stop talking about these maybe myths or things, because then you're always second guessing yourself. And I've gotten very confident. You know, this is going into my 4th year, so I'm about the same as you as far as how we've been doing mom years, right? You know, like we'd be way farther along in our journey if we didn't have the little one.
Oh, totally.
You know, so it's been reseller mom years. And, you know, like I would feel more confident in my eBay choices like I am in my Poshmark choices, but I don't, which is why I let that, like why we broke up for a little bit. Only until I get my confidence and my mojo going, then I will go back.
There ain't no judgment here. I get it. I wish I could get rid of eBay, only for the sole fact that I don't like filling in all those freaking fields that they ask for. So right now, like there was a whole big thing where they added in like 100 different things. And at first I started doing that because shoot, why not? Like I had always been told you need to fill those in because it boosts you up. Girl, I don't got time for that. Time is money. So I just do the
you just put basics.
Right. I just do the basics. I do the recommended section that they do at the very top. I do fill in like where it was made, because that is important to some people, oddly. And then also the what's it called? The like the care tag stuff, like if it's dry clean or whatever. People always ask me that. So I always put that in. And then that's it. I also do the drafts. So you can do drafts in eBay. So I have ones for like shirts and coats. And I have everything.
The template.
Yeah, template. Thank you.
Gotcha. Yeah.
See, that one. So I did that, and I have learned SEO is something that you should totally research if you do this stuff. So about a year ago, I learned about all that stuff. I threw in some descriptive words and keywords, threw them already in my templates. So if they match what I'm throwing on eBay, it's already there. If it doesn't, I just click a button and it is gone. So because typing takes up time too.
Absolutely.
So templates definitely have eased the process of eBay, but I would like to get rid of eBay for that sole fact that it does take forever and a day. I feel like there's so many different fields you have to fill in. But it's okay. There are worse.
So for the fact that you cross-list it on both, because I always found, because people would ask me, what's your bigger platform? And I would cross-post on everything on both. So it was, you know, mirror to mirror store. And I always had within maybe a couple of hundred varying a month, dead heat, sold the same amount on each platform.
That's awesome.
Every month, so consistently. It would be within 200 here, 300 there, 100 there, but always like super consistent. But so for you, that's not the case.
To be completely honest, I should probably look and see what I sell the most of. It really does feel like it's Poshmark. Like even my little pile of packages over there, there's only a couple eBays in there, and the rest are all Poshmark that I have to ship out. So Macari, I don't really sell a ton on. There's been 1 month that I've sold the most. Like I had more Macari sales than anything else.
I know. I think I'm at the point now where even though what happens with Mercari is the same thing that used to happen with eBay. Every time I think that I want to get rid of it, then I get a sale and I'm like, oh no, I should keep it. But I'm like, it's that one sale. Like it used to be on Mercari, I'd get average about one a day. And so it'd be $100, $200 at the end of the week. And that's nothing to shake a stick at. Like I'm happy for those sales.
Heck no,
like
that's a plain ticket.
But now it's less. And I do feel like we've been doing more, me and my VA, mostly her, less me. So like, can you just relist, kind of rotate it a little bit? Because I see these softwares, the List Perfectly and Bendu and all of that. And I'm like, should I, because I don't ever want to get rid of my VA. She will have to leave me before I will leave her. Like I'm just, I couldn't cut the ties even if I wanted to. I just couldn't do it.
Don't do it.
There's no software that could come in that would make me not have her. But what I thought was that we could get more done if I got the software and had her use it. Because if I get the software and I keep it, now I'm back to doing all of this, sitting at the computer and clicking instead of being outsourcing. So I thought, I'll get the software, make the business investment for her so that she could administer all of the button clicking. And then, but I think it would be more trouble than it's worth for right now. She's got her little systems.
Right.
She doesn't, her labor cost is not, I mean, it's way more than a software, of course, but I have her and I can direct her specifically. I don't have to worry about, so many other things. So perhaps in the future, I may do that as they shake out because they're still relatively new.
Yes.
For someone that doesn't have a VA do their listing, I think if I was in that position, I would totally make use of those if you can, whether you can afford it, and just kind of tweak your process a little bit because it's got to save time. I mean, it seems so. I don't know. It seems.
I know. I've been flirting with the idea of trying it, like their little trial run that you could do for free and just see how it is. But I don't know, there's a Facebook group for one of them that you can see other people asking questions, which is kind of nice to see other users. Because, I feel like on Instagram, you only see the best of the best.
Yeah.
So I want to see a real life, like, how does this work in your daily thing? So, but I haven't fun with the idea. They seem awesome.
Right. They do. I mean, they definitely do. And that's the thing. There are so many. It's not like I want all the robots to completely take over the world, but like there are so many easy things, not everything, because you do need brain power and know-how and whatever. But I do think that to take the repetitive and the monotony out of certain things would really make the reselling job more pleasant for people. I feel like we could get a little grumpy sometimes in general as a community over certain things.
Sweet Lord, yes.
Myself included. So maybe we'd all be a little brighter and shinier than we were.
Right.
Nonsense.
Well, every other industry, they always advance like different sections of their stuff. Why can't we? So especially with where resale is going in the future, there has to be something out there that's going to improve.
Yeah. What do you think about this because now you do have a helper or, a helping package or whatever.
Right.
Do you view yourself as I'm a reseller and that's my job and I've created that job for myself? Or do you see it as I have a reselling business? I feel like I want to start asking people's opinion more about this. I've been thinking a lot.
Right. That's such a thought-provoking question. I call myself an entrepreneur because I had always had this like back feeling like I'm not supposed to work for somebody else's dream. I want to fuel my own thing.
Right.
But I have no idea what to do. Like I always felt like I was so close to figuring out how to work at home, be my own boss, but I couldn't figure it out. And then once I did, now I'm like, this is my business. I started this from scratch. I know there's other women and men out there who are doing the same thing. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit of both. I don't really know how. I don't know. Strangers who ask me, because I'm super open with it. When I go sourcing, like they'll straight up ask me, because I'm buying size 16 and then size 0. Like, come on, you have to know.
Right.
So
but
I'm
super. Don't know that it's a thing, so they don't know.
No.
What to do. They don't know what to make of it. It doesn't make sense to them.
Right. Yeah. And there's people out there who are like, oh, you are so creative. This is so smart. I'm going to tell my friend. Or they're like, you're taking away from other people. But in reality, you're really not. So anywho, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question.
It's the first time I think I actually asked it. And I've just been thinking, because I always call it a business, and I've always had entrepreneurial tendencies. I am so happy that making the decision to stay home with Geo and not making the decision to stay home to have a business. Like, the whole point was to stay home with Geo. And if I hadn't made that decision, I wouldn't have ended up with this. And it just kind of happened. Like, it was never the plan to stay home to begin with. And then it was never the plan to stay home and have a business, and just kind of all snowballed over the last however long. But
yes,
I've always thought of it, once I did do it, as a business. But sometimes I think I could make more money if I just thought of it as a job. And that's what I've been toying with. Because I came out at the end of the year and told everybody, like, I didn't pay myself anything last year. I did not I did not take any money for Rebecca to do anything with at all.
Gotcha.
Like, everything was within the business. And some of that was good. I purposely did that. But for a while I was telling myself I was purposely doing it, but really I was just making bad decisions with my business. And so I'm thinking now, like, maybe if I had never thought it was a business, maybe if I was just like, I make this money, I spend this money, I make this money, I spend this money, and it's just me, and whatever that is, it is, maybe I'd make more money. Instead of doing, I need to brand this, I need to have a system for that, I need to figure out a solution to this, I need to have, all of these things that I do and the people that help me.
Right.
If I didn't do any of that, I'd have more money.
It's such a mindset.
This year's different, but this year's different. Everything's trending in the right directions. I paid myself in January exactly what I wanted to. I even had a little bit extra for myself. So, I mean, I think I fixed it, but I still think about this. Like, what if it all goes downhill come summer slowdown or something?
Right.
I should just forget the whole business idea and just do my own myself,
Right.
I think a lot of people do that and are very successful.
Mm-hmm.
So
I honestly, for me, it's whatever I sell, I'm super thankful for. Like, I throw down a number, and if I hit it, I make it. But see, I know me and how my thoughts go. And if I tend to overthink something, I either won't do it or I'll do it. And I tend to be a perfectionist. So
you'll ruin it by overthinking it.
Yes. Oh my God. I've done it so many times. Yeah. Yes. So now, like, I just have adopted that, what's that saying? Work smarter, not harder type of situation. Mm-hmm. And I've simplified my goals. And right now, like, for me and my business or my job, I'm paying down debt and I'm traveling. And that is truly the essence of why I'm doing this.
That's great.
And that's all it is. I don't know where I'm going to be 6 months from now or a year from now. I know where I'd like to be, but I can't just focus on that. So I only focus on a week at a time.
That's good. No, I think that's good. And, my sister does this. She has a full-time job. We used to do it together, and then we decided, after creative differences, because we are very different.
It's hard to work with someone.
Yeah, she can't stand all my plans, and I'm like, I have an idea, and she, like, runs for the hills. So
see you later.
She does more of a, she has a full-time job and she does it on the side, and she does more of a, she'll pay up for things, she'll really research, she'll find these things, and she'll sell it for a butt ton of money. And I'm like, I had to sell 15 things to get to that, but I don't have the patience for the sit on it, get the high value model. That would drive me. Like, if I went a day and didn't have a sale, I have to change everything. This is never going to work. I have to fix it. Like, this is not how it's supposed to be. Like, I need cha-ching. I need it. I have to have it.
Yes. No, I'm the same way. My husband has to talk me off of a cliff, like, at least once or twice a month, because sales suck. But that's just part of how this goes. Right. So
I did a January sales video, and it was really more for me to look at it. And then I'm like, well, if I'm going to look at it, I might as well just put it in the video. And that way maybe somebody else will get a kick out of it. And so it was really I only just started tracking my daily sales as they're coming in throughout the day. Like I made a little tracker, and that way I could see like, all right, I want to be at 167. That's my daily goal that I want to hit in gross sales. I'm at 55. It's 3 p.m. What am I going to do between 3 p.m. and the time I pass out on the couch at 9 o'clock to hit my goal? Am I going to do it? Can I do it? Like, am I going to share some more? Am I going to send a more generous offer? Like, what can I be doing based on the information? Because if you don't know your information, oh, well, I made it. I didn't make it. I don't know. And that's okay. But for me, if I'm trying to make sure that I hit certain things, like I need that being able to track it. And then I did this January video where I tracked what happened every day. And you can see, like, I had a whole week almost where I had like $300 a day. And then it went down to 35 and 60 and 120. And so many days I didn't hit my goal. And so it's nice to see that roller coaster. At the end of the month, you'll end up okay or not, but you get to see the whole big picture of the month when you're up here and when you're down here, knowing that those ebbs and flows will come. Because what if on the days that I had a bunch of $300 sales, I went out and bought a pallet, and then the next days I had no money to pay for the pallet, or, because like, the thought crosses my mind. To buy more pallets.
No, I'm the same way. Like, should I try it? No, I totally get it. I think that also goes back to like your schedule. Like, should we make like a reseller like schedule like for you as an individual? Like, should I list in the morning and then share at this time and then send out offers once a week, or do I do it daily? Or like, I think that also has to do with it too, on how you track stuff too. Because I'm huge into Excel. I love numbers. So I do it all with my daily stuff. Like, I look at how much I sell and whatever. But what I don't track is what am I doing during that day that is driving in sales. I should start tracking that, because you have the answer. It's in front of you. You just got to figure out how to find them, I guess.
Right. No, I totally agree. I think, some people can just go along and they just kind of do the right thing. My husband's very much like that. Like, he just kind of does. He doesn't always need a list. He doesn't always need a plan. He just kind of goes from the next thing to the next. And they always seem to be the right things, where I can't function unless I have, like I have to.
I got to write mine down.
I'm like, I need to write this down. I have to have a plan.
Oh yeah, I found my freaking planner in the fridge. What is it? The vegetable roller bin. That's where my planner was last year. It's been a frantic. I almost missed this call because
you put it in there. Is your daughter playing the hiding things game?
No, that was me. That was unfortunately me. I threw it in there. Oh yeah, and
that's
then
awesome.
I found the smoothie, like the big naked, like the smoothie things, freaking in where I keep the salt and pepper. I just put it in the pantry instead of the fridge. So yeah, you gotta write stuff down. At least if you're like me, and I only have one kid.
Yeah, me too. And that's plenty to occupy my brain space for sure. Well, our second kid is our business or our job or whatever.
That's my thing too.
And that's how, and I do think it's terrible to say. Perhaps Gio would have a brother or sister if I didn't have the business. Perhaps, not for sure, but perhaps I could feel like I could take on something else. I'd have less occupying my world in my brain. Pretty much I think not, but you never know.
You never know.
Yeah, I think though that he's learning a lot from this, and I think and I've talked about this with other moms on the show, like we are teaching them, besides like, it's business, or that I'm working hard, or all of these life lessons that they're getting out of it, but also like if I didn't have something that was occupying my attention right now and he came in, I would give him my undivided attention immediately. But instead, sometimes I have to teach him about patience, because, I am doing something else and he needs to learn what that is all about, because people don't always drop what they do for you and that kind of thing. So I think there's all those indirect lessons that they kind of learn too, which is good. So.
Oh yeah, that mom guilt stuff. That's a real thing. But at the same time, it's also pile of crap because we are doing so much for those kids and they are looking up to us and they think it's so cool that, hello, we started a side hustle, a full-time business, a part-time business by ourselves, and we are challenging ourselves. So that like guilt thing, it makes me so angry because I do it too on regular, like, it's such a.
We need to give ourselves more grace, you know, because there's a lot of judgment. There's a lot of, you know, comparing and all of that, you know, whether it's momming stuff or business stuff. And it's nice to be able to just be settled and know what you're doing is right. I mean, unfortunately, with the reselling business, you get more instant gratification than you do with your kid because you don't know if your kid's going to grow up to be a lunatic or a legit person. Like, you're just not sure.
That's true.
Later. So the jury's still out on Gio on exactly what's going to happen with him, but things are pointing in the right direction. He's not going to be a serial killer. So there's always that. He may grow up and work at Disney and be Darth Vader for the rest of his life. Like, that's kind of
cool.
tracking right.
Hey man, that'd still be fun though, as long as they're happy.
He was gonna grow. I'm surprised he hasn't said that because he says he wants to be everything. Like, he wants to work at Earth Fair and be the cashier. He wants to go and work at the construction. Like, he has all these ideas for jobs, and he's yet to say, "I want to be Darth Vader when I grow up," which I find hysterical. Because I'm like, that's what you spend most of your time doing. So,
oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Yeah. What like character is your daughter? Like, is there a particular character, or is she just using her imagination all over the place?
We're all over the place. Okay. She likes, she's not a super girly girl, so she likes, she does like Star Wars every once in a while. So my husband is a huge Star Wars freak. Our entire basement, we're in the middle of a remodel. Otherwise, I would show you. It's covered. Stuff.
Oh god.
But yeah, so we have that going for her. She likes, oddly, the Powder Puff Girls.
Okay.
I don't know. I gotta walk out the room. Those freaking kid shows are too much for me.
They're not meant for us. They're not meant for us. Well, we should probably wrap it up because the thing just came on. I didn't bring my charger for the laptop, so I don't want it to.
Girl, get it together.
Yeah. So, and we've been on for a long time anyway. So I'll be mindful of your time and everybody watching. Any final thoughts that you have for the moms watching?
Man, honestly, just do what you feel is best and turn off your phone and stop getting on Instagram and listening to what other people say. Just do your own thing.
Yeah.
It will work. It will all totally work out.
That's good. And if you would like for people to come and find you or follow you, where would they do that?
I'm on Instagram at Thrifty Seabird. I'm private right now, but I'll take it off. So, but yeah,
I wasn't sure. I wanted to ask because I didn't know.
Crazy moment, but yes, it's private now, but as soon as it's over, I'll take it off. But yeah, I'm not on it a lot though. That's the thing. Like, I want to focus on my business, but I do post real things. I don't use filters and all that stuff. Like, that's just me.
And it's nice for people just to have the conversation. Like, even if you didn't want people, to be. People come on because they are trying to build their social. So
heck yeah, that's how I learned, and I'm an open book. So if y'all have questions, shoot me a message. Like, I have nothing to hide. So
awesome. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I will leave all of Erin's information below. Thank you again. Go ahead and like this video, leave us a comment, and go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.